We're joined on the line by Deputy General Secretary of the National Democratic Congress, Mr. Mustapha Gbande. Thank you very much for your time. Good morning to you.
Hey, thank you very much, and it's a pleasure being with you today again.
I hope you're well.
God is good.
Well, let's start from the petition first, because but I'm sure you've seen the statement that was issued initially by the New Patriotic Party on this same matter before they proceeded to file this petition with the police for an investigation into the incident that happened between their vice chairman and your vice chairman. First of all, do you think there's an issue to be investigated there?
Thank you very much, my brother, and a very good morning to this very wonderful family. Chief, the NPP is not only engaged in an outmoded strategy of politics, but an alarmist behavior that seek for attention as though they are last-borns or female children. You know, girls like attention a lot, so sometimes they will cry as if there's a problem when there is none. That is the way MPP and its executives are behaving. Number one, post-election has very consequential issues to discuss. Why they lost, why we won, what it means to our geopolitics, the impact. That is where the MPP want to divert our entire attention, discussing frivolities and non-consequential diversion, to the extent that you claim that there have been an issue involving what you call threat of life and also an assault on a vice chairman. When we came from Akotia, I saw the police issuing a commencement of investigation into the matter. So whether or not there is an issue to answer, the police have the duty to investigate. Now, in the past, we have held by-elections, spend 1 week after the by-election, healing people, paying hospital bills, some mourning because they would have killed somebody, people losing their legs and their arms, their eyes. That is the legacy and the track record of the MPP as far as by-election is concerned. Under President Mahama, this is our second by-election. The first one in Ablekuma was quite interesting. The second one, we were mourning our brother, Dr. Edward Omanibuama, and his 7 others, including the Member of Parliament, N.S. Yaokumi. So for us, we went into that by-election with the commitment of ensuring that in honor of the humble, gentle soul, particularly of Dr. Omanibuama, who himself have desired us to win this seat, we are going to, 1, do everything possible to win, 2, restrain ourselves from any temptation that will mar the process, that will lead the process to be violent, and all of that. So it was hard work, and the General Secretary of the MPP with their bodyguards. How would you gather the courage to the extent that you go and tear your opponent's posters, broad daylight? And then when they have complained, Afenyo Markin says that he is not called Osahene for nothing. He is courageous. Such preposterous, arrogant response of a young politician who himself is a repository of violence, typical terror, Having done that, it was de-escalated. In fact, what we did, we called the General Secretary. We drove to wherever he was, myself and the National Organizer, just to ensure that because of what they did, nobody, is able to escalate the situation. Nobody attacks anybody. We met them. Afenyo Markin was there. Right after they left us, they went to Akwatia Wenchi, where Afenyo Markin's bodyguards were filming our boys. And that place too, there was a heated, but for the police intervention, there would have been violence. So Afenyo Markin came to Akwatia with a sole intention to be provocative, to lead the NDC and unsuspecting supporters to react to his provocation so that the essence of the election is marred. And I dare say, Afenyo Markin must grow up from childishness. He must grow up from seeking attention everywhere and anywhere towards himself. Afenyo Markin must understand that when you have the privilege to serve as a leader of young upcoming parliamentarians in parliament, the bar needs to take him up. Look, Afenyo Markin, behind these, their frivolous letters that they are writing, very lazy to stop all of us from discussing the details of the election, to stop the public from discussing their shame and embarrassment and lack of leadership and direction, sense of uninformed political organization, that a reflection of what they have done to this country, the pain the people of Ghana have gone through in the last 8 years, which is reflecting in every by-election that we have gone through. Their effort to sit on radio and TV to whitewash their deeds, evil deeds, okay, the level at which they destroyed our country, the level at which they were corrupt, they fleeced the purse of this nation for themselves and for their family, the level at which Ghanaians felt impoverished, the level at which they subjected the people of Ghana to pain and torture. They are distracting us from discussing these issues. But it's reflecting, it's very clear. So now, do you know that they didn't participate in the election? But yet, they were sitting in Accra and deceiving everybody that the MPP is campaigning. They came to Akwatia on Thursday. Thursday night, they did a vigil. Friday morning, we did the 1 week. Can you win election with a vigil? Kindergarten class captain election has even, advanced. Kindergarten. You cannot use a vigil to win an election. Particularly so because you are a government which has shamefully failed to perform. Your own backyard, Akwatia constituency, is a mining constituency, a farming constituency, cosmopolitan mixed with farmers and traders and everything, settlers and indigenous. Nanado have failed to develop the place. The former leader of the MPP, the flag bearer of the MPP and vice president of the MPP, had an opportunity to apologize, to reinforce the commitment of the party to present a candidate for an election. Use that platform to perpetuate and reinforce irresponsible political comments, trying to say that it was because NDC took Ernest Yaokumi to court, that is why he died. This is a vice president who is supposedly surrounded by lawyers, trained by a lawyer, who do not understand that what you are saying does not find place in law. It does not find place in logic. To go into the public where you are campaigning, you have met with chiefs. Senna, our estimation of winning Akwatia was about 1,500. As soon as Baumia went to that constituency, our votes increased. Because clearly, the candidate was substandard. The mighty man himself have arrived. His presentation is nothing to write home about. So they did all of these cartooning and comedy whilst we lived in the constituency for 3 weeks campaigning and engaging in good faith. So our victory was a product of coordination, a product of good work. And this, let me credit my brother Mahdi, Kobe Ballon, and our colleagues who have all joined us in the field to ensure that this victory is won. The party people who have volunteered their resources, transported themselves to Akwatia, even when they have not been invited, they came to ensure that they offer solidarity and support, complement to the party to ensure that we win. The CEOs and the ministers who have those resources to ensure that the party machinery was not just functional, it was also lubricated to function. The chief of staff, on behalf of the president, the national security coordinator, who ensured there was no violent, proper security coordination, the MPP themselves, their grassroots, demonstrated discipline than their leadership. We did not have any incidents anywhere involving the grassroots of the NDC and the grassroots of the MPP. So clearly, we were building on the sheet of previous elections. We're building up. And let me also say, an exceptional mention of the national chairman of our party, the leader under who we serve, who have lived with us a whole week in that constituency, from village to village to village. They think Asidun Ketia doesn't know how to wear suit and sit in Accra. But yet, this is a man who led troops to win this election. And of course, yourself, and particularly the Inspector General of Police and their team. So again, the reaction of the MPP in writing useless press statements is to discredit the good work of the police. One, they accuse the police of, too many numbers. So these are people who complain that NDC people attack us when we go to by-election. The police then decide that no, we will give you the needed protection to ensure that we are violence-free. We are deploying over 6,000 personnel to ensure that it's violence-free. MPP is complaining that they are intimidated. And these police officers, half of them did not open their mouth throughout the election because they were on standby. They left all of us to do what we have to do. They were only searching for what is unlawful, what is wrong. The MPP cannot commend the police because the police voted against them. So they must do these things to discredit any, commendation that the police will get. The MPP does not appreciate what policing means. So they must attack the police and pretend that the police are not doing their work. But Senna, the records of history has it that Afenyo Markin last year, when we did the previous assembly election, through his illegal soldiers he was using, attacked journalists, including the Central Regional Correspondent of GH1. Till today, as we speak, has Afenyo Markin been arrested vicariously? 2. Afenyo Markin, in the recent demonstration, another reviving avenue they thought they could use, which failed, slapped a police officer, assaulted the police officer. A leader of the minority assaulting a police officer. Because they believe that the police voted against them. So they rage against police. He slapped a police officer. Till today that we speak, Afenyo Markins have not been arrested. Recently, when a police officer touched a journalist, all of you, including you, spoke against this police officer till he got interdicted. Is Afenyo Markin better than any human being in Ghana? Is Afenyo Markin better than all of us? So if the MPP is in the business of writing press statements, they should be ready that we will compound all of the violent cases and have it dealt with once and for all. And we are ready to do that. Now, I had advised previously that the NDC just came back from election. Our national chairman, general secretary, are yet to meet, only to call us for them to call us for a meeting, so that we would look at the issues of the election in totality.
Okay.
However, we are investigating ourselves what had led to what we see today as an assault against a vice chairman of the MPP and a concurrent threat to Afenyo Markin.
You're doing your own investigation.
Say that again.
You're doing your own investigation as to how that happened.
Our own investigation. 1. 2. We cannot hear one side and condemn our own. So if the MPP think that we'll sit on radio to condemn anybody, I'm sorry, we will not do that. We will not take any knee-jerk approach. We have to, for all intents and purposes, ensuring the rule of natural justice, hear Sofo Azoka, who is a vice chairman, not a mean person. We will hear him out, let him explain himself. And the assurance of leadership in their track record is that, you remember the Tamale case, when a treasurer, regional treasurer, was allegedly assaulted by a vice chairman. The party investigated. When we came to the conclusion that it was unfounded and unnecessitated, the chairman was suspended. Okay? So, for you to want to get all of us into a discussion that is have not arrived in the first place, is needless. Now, the two vice chairmen occupy high positions of these parties. And so, therefore, if we have gone for a by-election where the records of incident doesn't happen between party people, but also happening between two high-ranking officers, we can activate our inter-party relationship to ensure that we engage and to see to it that these things doesn't repeat at our level due to the nature of the positions these two gentlemen occupy. National vice chairmanship slot. We can redirect the energy to engineer a process, a collective where violence in elections becomes a thing of the past. And this is an opportunity to do that, particularly that nobody is hurt, nobody is crying, there's no drop of blood, and all sort of things. The MPP doesn't want to listen. So for me, Sana, what they are doing is not more of, following up on complaints. Do you know that as we speak, the supposed threat on Nanabi, Afenyo Markin, and others, they have not made an official complaint to the police.
The persons whose names were mentioned have not made an official complaint to the police, or the MPP has not?
They have not.
Because the MPP has done that on their behalf.
Yes, so what do they think that the people do not have capacity to make complaints on themselves? So you see, they are jumping the gun. In trying to be mischievous, they have forgotten procedure. In trying to highlight violence as against a better performance of record, as far as by-election is concerned, they have lost their mind. So please, let us not allow the NPP to set a table for all of us. That table is infected with waste of time. That table is infested with cover-up. That table is infested with hypocrisy, double standard of a group of people who have lost trust, a group of people who lack credibility, a group of people who are disorganized. We decline that invitation. If for any reason we find out that Chief Sofo Azoka's comment, Chief Sofo Azoka's action is offensive to the extent that the party need to deal with, we can always reach out to the Honorable Afenyo Markin and his colleagues. We can always reach out to Alhaji Masaudu, who himself is a national party officer. We can do that and offer whatever action the party needed to take to ensure that we restitute confidence and trust within the relationship among the two people or other group of people involved. Why should we do that to ourselves? MPP wants us to discredit the gains of this by-election, and we will not allow them to do that.
Well, they have chosen the path of seeking criminal investigation into this matter. Will the NDC submit themselves and, of course, the person involved to that investigation?
We have never obstructed the course of justice. We have always believed that whoever breaks a law, let the law take its course. And my common fight with my senior brother, Interior Minister, he says every crime will be treated as a crime. Every crime is a crime. So we don't inhibit them from taking that action. But when you call for equity, you must do equity. Has the MPP demonstrated enough equity? Do we have grounds to have been arresting people within the MPP now? What they did in their 1 week, Afenyo Markin was sitting there. Can we go and arrest those people? Afenyo Markin assaulted a police officer where he is lodging the complaint. Can he get arrested?